Hey guys, Sebbies is back. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope this video finds you all chilling, doing okay. Today I want to talk about 3 things that I hate to have to say as a locker. Let's get to it. So yeah, as a locker, having locks, having dreadlocks, having dreads, whatever you want to call them, there are things that repeatedly come up that I have to say that I hate, and I shouldn't have to say it. But of course, it's Sebbies, it's a Trey Locs here, and I have to have a slight twist to this, right? Of course, I have to. I try hard to. Actually, I don't try that hard. What I hate, well, first, let me say that I'm not going to talk about things that I have to say to people who don't have locks. I feel like that's what most videos out here on YouTube cover, you know. Oh, is your hair clean? Is your hair dirty? Do you wash your hair? Etc., etc. Yeah. How do you get your hair like that? Those are not the things that I hate to have to respond to as a locker. I am actually going to talk about things that I hate to have to say to, guess what? Yes, other freaking lockers. So the first one is whether or not I freeform, I semi-freeform, or I am considered manicured. I feel like that's something that I should not have to say to people. Why do we have these different categories? You might have noticed that as I've spoken about abstaining from retwisting for 4 months and not washing for 4 months, I didn't try to claim semi-freeform. I didn't try to claim freeform, right? To me, it's immaterial. To me, it does not matter. Who cares? Why do people always feel the need to put themselves in a box? Why do people feel the need to categorize themselves? It's just not that deep. What I'm doing is not retwisting and not washing for 4 months. Like, that's it. I don't need to pledge my allegiance to freeformism or, you know, semi-freeformism, if you will. It's just not that deep. So that'd be the first thing that I have to say that I hate to have to say as a locker, that I shouldn't have to say. I shouldn't have to claim what camp I am in. I shouldn't have to profess that to anybody. The second thing that I hate to have to say to other lockers is, so you're talking about, you know, what your regimen is, what you do, and now there's this thing where we all pretty much have to preface whatever we're going to say with, I'm just telling you what works for me. It may not work for you, but I'm just telling you what works for me. How did this come about? Because people were getting bashed and attacked by other lockers saying that, you know, whatever they were saying was not the case for them, that it didn't work for them. And so now people, you know, preface their statements, and I've done it too, with, yeah, I'm just telling you what works for me, it may not work for you. To me, this is something that is common sense. Of course, what I'm doing may not work for you when you consider how many different hair types there are, when you consider how many different environments people are in, when you consider, there's so many freaking factors. I could go on and on. The quality of the water, how often a person washes their hair. Yeah, you get the point, right? So that's something else that I hate to have to say to lockers. I don't have to necessarily say that to non-lockers. I don't have to say, yeah, you know, this may not work for you. I'm just telling you what works for me, because they don't have locks, so they could care less anyway. You know, they're not going to test it out. So that is the second thing that I hate to have to say as a locker. The third thing that I hate to have to say, the third and final thing that I hate to have to say as a locker, is a little bit more nebulous, I will be honest. It's a little bit more vague, but I'm sure once I describe it, all of you guys will understand what I mean. It is the unspoken, how should I put this? Let me choose my words carefully. The unspoken expectation to go with the norm, to conform. And isn't that pretty ironic that even within the lock community, there is this unspoken pressure to conform to other lockheads, right? Dreadheads, lockers, nonetheless, but there is this presence of this pressure to conform. And what I mean is conforming to, you know, washing your hair maybe every 2 weeks or once a month, or, not using wax, or there's so many different things. Retwisting, not retwisting more than a month, more than a month. If you retwist, that's very bad. It's considered taboo among lockers. I feel like this pressure should not exist, especially a pressure to assimilate, because that is just against the very essence of who we are as lockers. We should not be pressuring people, to conform. And I will admit, I definitely felt some type of way. I was up in my feelings, and I wasn't up in my feelings, but I did wonder. It did give me pause. I wondered for a second when I decided to not retwist, and to not wash my hair for 4 months. I did wonder if people would hate on me, right? Or think that I was dirty or whatever. Because that unspoken pressure is there. If you're not doing what the majority is doing, then there's a problem. And I think that should not be. So basically, to sum it up, I hate to have to say that I do whatever the common practice is for lockers right now in 2017. And that's the thing with fads and stuff. They change often. So right now, it's all about keeping that scalp clean, washing a minimum of every 2 weeks, and who knows what it'll be. Before, it was considered okay to not wash your hair for months at a time. And so, yeah, I'm starting to ramble a little bit, but you guys get my point. So I'm going to wrap this video up. Those are the 3 things that I hate to have to say as a locker. Please drop down below in the comment section and let me know if you can relate. And if so, tell me what your experiences are. And if you have other experiences, other things that you hate to have to say as a locker, but not to non-lockers, to people within our own community. All right, please learn to love unconditionally, because loving with conditions the heart, to not really love at all. Sebbies is out.